Dear God, thank you for the opportunity to meet together. Please help us to come together to make this institution reflect your kingdom. Breathe life into our ideas and decisions. Help us build a team that has love and respect at its heart. Give us the strength to continue working for your kingdom in this time of pandemic. Lord, come give us the inspiration to be the best we can be. May we be a shining example of your goodness and truth within, wherever we are. Inspire our thoughts, discussions, and ideas, and continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth for the greater glory of you. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Ito ay rated SPG. Striktong patnubay at gabay ng magulang ang kailangan. Maaaring may masiselang tema, lengguwahe, karahasan, sexual, horror o droga na hindi angkop sa mga bata.
Hello, Aurora.
You have your queen.
Oh my god, I feel like Nicole Kidman in Moulin Rouge.
I'm on vacation.
Yes, bitch!
Who am I? I'm Spider-Man.
Have the floor. Thank you so much.
Alright. Thank you, Miss Sherica Dimailig. So before we start, let me introduce to you our company, Trini Lab. Here at Trini Lab, we trusted quality healthcare. Alright. Before we proceed, let me remind you what quality management is. I will be presenting quality management for this tonight's meeting. Alright, quality management. Quality management provides a suitable guidance to build upon quality assurance standards to achieve business benefits for all stakeholders, groups, and focuses on continual performance improvement to sustain customer satisfaction. Here at Lab, we provide a good and trusted quality healthcare for our very own vaccine. Alright, here, for you guys, I want to hear one from the crowd. What is quality? Anyone?
Disclaimer, guys, ha? Disclaimer, that is not the question that will be asked for the Starbucks card, ha? This is just, ha? This is just
It's
for
just a participation.
quality, ha?
Tingnan lang natin kung na sila.
Later, I will be the one who's going to show the procedures,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. Right. Anyone? For you guys, what is
Sure.
quality? Yes.
When we say quality is the standard of something as measured.
Yes. Thank you, Miss Jerson Perez. So, uh, let me explain what quality is. Kapag ka nagbayad kayo, kailangan maramdaman nyo yung quality na binayaran nyo. So, kayo ba, papayag ba kayo na nagbayad po kayo ng kamahal-mahal is hindi nyo po na-achieve yung satisfaction na binayaran nyo? Siyempre, hindi. But here at Trinilab, we trusted quality healthcare. Alright. So, let me explain to you what total quality management is. Total quality management may be defined as the managing the entire organization so that it excels on all dimensions of products and services that are important to the customer. It has two fundamental operational goals. Namely, number one is careful design of the product or service. Here at Trinilab, we will very careful about our design of our product and services. We deliver more efficient and effective quality product here at Trusted Healthcare. Number two, ensuring that the organization system can consistently produce the design. So here at Trinity Lab, we are ensuring that our product is consistently effective and quality design. Alright, next is cost of quality. Yes, there is a cost in terms of quality, right? But that cost is dapat is na ma-maximize niya yung satisfaction na dapat na ibibigay sa customer. Cost quality, there are number of definition and interpretation of in-term cost of quality from the purist point of view. It means all of the costs attributable to the production of the quality that is not 100% perfect. Yes, that is not 100%, but we will must ensure that the 100 satisfaction from the customer. A less stringent definition considers only those costs that are difference between what can be expected from excellence performance and the current cost that exists. So let me give you an example for that one. Alright, example, bumili kayo ng product sa online store and then you bought that product with a huge amount of cost. Alright, in that product, you will expect that this product may not be just a perfect, but I may be satisfied to that product. Alright, next. Under cost quality, we have appraisal cost. Appraisal cost of the inspection testing, and other tasks to ensure that the product is processed is acceptable. Here at process appraisal cost and also here at Trinilab, we will carefully inspecting our product and also testing our product to ensure that our product or process is acceptable. Number two, prevention cost. The sum of all costs to prevent the defects, such as cost identify the cause of the defect to implement corrective action to eliminate the cause, to train personnel to redesign the product or system and purchase new equipment or make modification. Let me give you a small insight about that. Yes, prevention cost. We will have that planning. So, in prevention cost, so dito ina-identify namin yung mga cost ng defect. Siyempre, kapag ka nagkakaroon tayo ng defects, so cost sa atin yun. Here at Trinilab, we will have our plan to prevent that defects, to prevent our sudden huge amount of loss. Number three, internal failure cost. This cost for defects incurred within the system, scrap, rework, and repair. So here at Trinilab, we will ensure that our product is uh, not a rework, not a repair. So kailangan is nabibigay namin is full satisfaction, not just a 100%. Yes, there's no company give a 100%. Ika nga sa sabon is 99.9%. Yes. Number four, external failure cost. This cost for defects that pass through the system, customer warranty replacement, loss of customer or goodwill, handling complaints, and product repair. So dito sa external failure cost, nagpo-provide po kami ng fund for the customer warranty. So before we give warranty, we will must ensure that our product is 100% quality. Let me give you a small insight about Six Sigma quality. So Six Sigma is a quality management or methodology used to help business improve current process, product, or services by discovering and eliminating the defects. The goal is to streamline quality control in manufacturing or business process. So there is a little no variance throughout. So here at Lean Six Sigma quality, I will not full explain what Lean Six Sigma quality is. I will just quote three word, three important words here at Six Sigma quality. Number one is unit. The item unit is produced or being served. Number one, kaya siya mahalaga is yung dapat na unit or product na binibigay namin is quality. Not 100%, but 99.9%. So, there's also room for improvement also. Number two is defect. Any item or event that does not meet the customer requirement. So, yes, nagkakaroon po yan. Wala pong perfectong company. Lahat po nagkakaroon ng defect. So, in order to do that, we will not call it lapses. So, we will call it number three, opportunity. A chance for a defect to occur. Here at Trinilab, our company, there's no such thing as lapses. We will call it opportunity. Why? Because there's always room for improvement. This is not included to our report, but I would like to give thanks to Pareto, Wilfredo Pareto. I'm very huge fan of his work. The Pareto effect, our quality management. The Pareto effect even effectively operates in quality improvement up to 80% of the problem. Usually stem from 20% of the cost. So I would like to explain what Wilfredo Pareto and his Pareto effect. So sa Pareto effect, nagkakaroon tayo ng mga defect. Yes, totoo yan. Bali, and 80% dun is yung quality improvement, which is Miss Sherica Dimailig will present what quality improvement is. I would like to quote the 20% of the cost. So dito sa cost, under yan ng three categories above in the production of our company. Number one is company. So, kailangan ang company namin is healthy environment in order to give a good quality product. Number two is our customer. Number two, dapat pangalawa siya sa pinaka-importante dapat. Ang pagbibigay ng maayos na pagpapasahod sa mga empleyado is nababalik yan sa magandang serbisyo sa customer. So, kung wala si customer, hindi nag-e-exist si Trinilab. So, number 3 is employee. Hindi dapat nakakalimutan ng mga empleyado. Kailangan na bibigyan ng tamang pasahod para mabigay ang tamang quality. And also, the good environment for their behavior. And also, not only but also their incentives. Alright. For the next topic, I will present to you the primary elements of the TQM or the Total Quality Management. The Total Quality Management is a modern quality management system, the successor to TQM. Here are the 8 principles of the Total Quality Management. Number 1, customer focus. Here at Trinilab, we are very strict to that. Customer focus and also customer connection will give our, in Tagalog, suki. So, number 2, the total employee involvement. So, number 2, nilagay siya sa number 2 kasi napaka-importante ng mga employee. So, kailangan ang mga employee involved sila sa mga nangyayari sa production in order to give the best quality. Number 3, process-centered. Kailangan ang proseso na naibibigay namin is maganda. Kailangan quality, and also number 4, integrated system. Kailangan may sistema ang Trinilab kasi kapag wala tayong sistema, magkakagulo tayo. Parang sa government, di ba? So, hindi na natin papahabain yung usapan sa government. Masyadong mahaba yun. Number 5, strategic and systematic. Here, our Trinilab, we are very strategic and systematic. That's why my other colleagues will represent to you the 4-hour forecasting and also the KPI. These are just a future reference. So number 6, continual improvement. I will be expecting Miss Sherica Dimailig to present our continual improvement here at Trinilab. But let me give you a small insight about that. Here at Trinilab, continuous improvement is very important. Why? Because we will value these 2 words. It's either we innovate or we die. Number 7, fact-based decision making. So here at Trinilab, we're not just relying on what we call chismis. So here at Trinilab, we are very strategic and systematic. That's why we are very use statistical and data for our decision making. So number 8, it is very important, this is not the least, but this is the most important part of the 8 principles of the total quality management is our communications. Without that, we will be not functioning very well, and we will not give you the best quality here at Trinidad. Thank you. Miss Sherica Dimailig, please have the floor.
All right, guys. So I know that you already know my name, but once again, once again, and again, this is Sherica Dimailig, and I'm going to, as mentioned by, of course, RTL, Mr. Lucas, I'm going to present our quality control as part of course, our quality week. Next slide. Alright, so quality control is a process through which a business seeks to ensure that product quality is maintained or improved. Quality control requires the company to create an environment in which both management and employees strive for perfection. As mentioned by Mr. Lucas, there's such thing as perfection, but we're striving for it. Okay? So as mentioned, then it's always been 99.9%, and I'm proud to say that Trinilab has exceeded the expectations, and that we are always striving for what's the best, not just for us, but also for our employees as well. So a significant aspect of quality control is established of well-defined controls. So of course, we do inspections and everything to standardize both productions and reactions to quality issues. Limiting the room for errors. I know that there's always a room for improvement, as what Mr. Lucas mentioned. And we can specify that on production activities that should be completed by which personally reduces the chance that employees will be improved in tasks for their will be also adequating any trainings that they needed. Next, please. Okay, so this is done by training personnel. So we are creating benchmarks. So what is benchmark? So we are doing or copying the best practices of our best department for the week, and to ensure that we are presenting quality products and testing products to check statistically significant variations as well. Of course, we also need to check everything up before we can release it to the public, because of course health is wealth. Okay, basically that's it. Health is wealth, and we also want to make sure that everyone is receiving the best service that they deserve. Next. All right, so now we're going to quality. So what is quality, guys? Anyone? Anyone? This is, again, this is not the question. What's quality, guys? Anyone? Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes po.
Okay, Rena.
For me, quality defines as the characteristic of features of product or services. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you so much, Miss Rena. Okay, Miss Catherine.
Yep. Just to add up to that, quality is a degree of excellence for something. So we aim for excellence if we want quality.
Yes, and we always aim for quality, right? And here in Trinilab, we don't just value quality, but of course, we also value the people behind quality, and that's our team. Yeah, I know that's our team. Anyways, so let's go ahead and check what quality is. Mr. Lucas, next slide, please. Yeah, so quality control involves testing units and determining if they are within the specifications for the final product. So of course, before we produce products, we also check if quality control is involved, and we can definitely determine the specifications of that product because of course we have like the DFA, and we also want to make sure that we are also aligned with their policies as well. Okay, so we're not just producing quality products, but of course we're also following our government standards as well. Next one. Okay, so now we're going through what's the benefits. Okay, so I know the benefits of quality control for us, because of course that is also one of the most required, because of course since we're doing quality control for quite a while now, of course we also want to have like the discussion on the benefits that we are receiving in having this quality control. And I know that on our company as well, we are having like a cost regarding quality control. So of course we're going to present what the benefits of quality control. Okay, so of course, first one, implementing quality control procedures ensures you are selling the best products to your customers. So in addition, practicing quality control has a positive impact on employee conduct. Quality control can inspire employees to create high quality goods, leading to greater customer satisfaction. I know that it's correlated, the customer satisfaction and the quality as well. So I know na you all know that, guys, that it's correlated. But of course, in addition, also had a positive impact. Okay, so I know that every employees here in Trinilab take pride that, hey, we are from Trinilab. And that's the best feeling that they can have, right? Because we are not just having the best employees as well, but of course, we also strive for a greater customer satisfaction. Okay, I know that most of the companies, okay, we are not just the company who is storing vaccines, but of course, we always strive for the customer satisfaction. That's why we're the most trusted, right, guys? Okay, so that's the first one. And of course, we also take every employees here as our family. Okay, we're not just a company with a boss, but of course we're treating everyone as a company. Just like today, we're giving out just a quick reward, right? So yeah, next slide, please. Okay, so these are the ways on how we can improve our quality control. So first one is to build proper processes. Okay, this ensures that the right processes are in place so employees have no doubts about how to do their job. Okay, this upgrade may involve increasing training, enhancing employees' guides and resources, and regularly discussing the new standards and expectations. When the processes are in place to educate and motivate employees, quality control largely takes care of itself. Okay, so it's quality control just comes naturally. Why? Of course, we are increasing the training. We are also increasing employees' guides so that, kumbaga, di ba whenever we receive training, minsan kapag nandun na tayo sa mismong production, minsan medyo nawawala tayo kasi syempre iba naman yung training sa mismong production na. Okay, so of course, we also have guides and we also have experienced people that will definitely help them in doing their job. And of course, quality control takes place on that specific scenario because when they are happy, of course, they are producing quality products as well. So they are following the standards and we are very proud of it. Second one is to keep a clean workspace. So failing to clean up can cause injury. Okay, so we don't want to that happen. Increase the livelihood of errors. You should always make workplace cleanliness a priority. Okay, so of course we also want to make sure that everything is cleaned before they do their job. So to do this, clearly post cleanliness standards, ayan, that our manpower is, they are following it, and where employees can also see it. And if there is like a cleaning task for every department, so that should be posted as well. Okay, so yeah, that's it for that. Thank you so much. Next one, please. Okay, identify essential spare parts. So one commonly overlooked aspect of quality control is ensuring that you have the sufficient supply for the spare parts of the most essential machines in your business. Okay, so in addition to being smart, business move, of course, we don't really work that hard, but we work smart. Okay, so that's also one secret of our company to strive for success. And the initiative helps us to prevent injuries or accidents that result from worn out parts and contributes to ensuring that our quality control is always our top priority. And of course, for us to have to strive for that essential parts, of course, diba? That's why we also have a department wherein they are the one who's handling the supply for the spare parts of our machine as well, because of course we cannot just stop the production just because of the delay that the essential parts or essential spare parts are missing. Okay, so we don't want that to happen in our company. That's why we also have that kind of department wherein they are the one who's delegate for the spare parts of, and they're also the one who's checking our manufacturing machines as well. Okay. And the next one is better quality control creates a better workplace. So I know that you get the meaning of that. So of course, it's focused on the quality control that demonstrate respect and concern for employees. Uh, and can help us to brand ours as the employee that manufacturing specialists want to work with. This outcome, in turn, is fantastic for our brand reputation and can help us draw for more qualified talent around the country. So, as mentioned, nga, we're striving for the best company here in the Philippines. So, of course, we also want to make sure na we are accredited by our government, and we are award winning as well, so that our company will not just be recognized but will be trusted by our fellow men. Next one, please. Okay. All right. So I think that's it for my report.
Let me introduce myself first. My name is Abegail Perez and I'm from the team Trinidad. So my topic is all about the project launching or execution. Once you have successfully passed the planning phase, it is time for the real action, which is the execution. The project execution phase of the project management lifecycle is all about the outputs and the deliverables. Let's first define what is project execution. So project execution is the stage of the project where everything your team has planned is put into an action. It is also about actualizing the already designed plan. So it involves putting into action all the activities that were set in the previous processes of the project cycle. The project activities are done according to the set plans, sequences, and procedures to satisfy the requirements of the project. It is often the longest and most complex stage in the project life cycle. So if you are not careful, your team might get off track, run into communication problems, or stop following your carefully outlined procedures. After investing the time and other resources into your project execution plan, you need to make sure that you can deliver on your promises. No matter how well your plan, you won't be successful unless you effectively implement all your ideas. And although unanticipated happenings are likely to occur in the execution of the project, such happenings need to be mitigated early by the project manager and other important stakeholders. So let us see what are the processes included in the project execution. So first is the execution kickoff. So this is when the project manager can begin the phase activities following the completion of all planning activities, including the approval, functional specifications, and project funding. Next is to acquire a project team. So the project manager follows necessary steps to obtain the human resources needed to complete the project. Resource calendars are built and resource allocation for the project is done based on the negotiations and acquisitions with the involved business units and resource pool managers. Next would be to develop a project team. So this is when the project manager evaluates each individual skill sets to ensure that each team members has the proper skill sets for each upcoming activities. Project leaders that can align their vision and work with their teams will successfully deliver key programs and projects. Next would be executing the project management plan. So the project managers executes the project management plan activities by performing the activities contained within each of the plans, such as communication plans, risk management plans, and etc. So the project manager will direct the various technical and organizational resources that exist in the project to execute the work defined in the project management plan. Next is to conducting status review meetings. So, project status meetings will help the managers in reviewing the status collected from the team members. They help the project managers in assessing what has been accomplished till date and compare them with the planned activities. Having these project status meetings also eliminates the communication problems that arises out of the assumption or belief that everyone knows what is going on in this project, because often team members do not know because they are busy with their own tasks. So the project execution phase will reveal unanticipated problems or issues. So project leaders must be prepared to pivot and make the tactical changes. Next is to update the project schedule and management plan. So in most organizations, the project management team is a group of people responsible for updating the project plan. It is a record of what has occurred on the project. It illustrates what is happening on the project right now, and it prepares the project team by showing what will be coming up. So keeping the plan current is an important role to the project manager. So therefore, any changes and updates from the previous defined plan must be duly recorded and approved by the relevant parties with the revision history info for the audit trail. Next is quality assurance. So as what has been discussed by my teammates earlier, quality is very important in every product or services that is being out in the market. So quality assurance is a process of auditing the quality requirements and the results from the quality control measurements to ensure that appropriate quality standards and operational definitions are used. The key benefit of this process is that it facilitates the improvement of quality processes. Next is the acceptance of deliverables. So, acceptance criteria for the deliverables establishes in advance an agreed upon standard of performance or capability that the user will accept in a specific deliverable. So, acceptance criteria then became the fundamental guideline for the design team to build a solution that the user will find it acceptable. So, the execution phase ends when the user has agreed to accept the deliverables in the state that they exist. The acceptance criterion is the standard that the user uses to judge if each deliverables is satisfactory. So next would be last would be the complete the execution phase. So this is when the project manager contacts all the participating stakeholders to review and document the lessons learned in the execution phase. A formal phase review form is duly filled and sent to the project sponsor for the approval. So it is basically to seek permission to proceed to the next phase and the closure of the existing phase. All deliverables are reviewed, accepted, and approved, and any pending issues here are documented along with the resolution plan, and all the relevant plans and documents are updated accordingly. So I have here an example of what project execution produces. So first would be the project deliverables. So project deliverables basically are the primary reason why the projects are run. They are the tangible expectations, and results from our projects. So as part of the execution process, we ensure that the deliverables are well tested, meet the acceptance criteria, and are approved by the customer and by the business sponsors. So, for example, here at Trinilab is the vaccine. So, we all know that vaccines will help to lessen the people who got infected and died because of COVID-19. But before those vaccines have been launched, there are procedures and testings that happen first. The team behind it has each task that needs to be performed, tested, and approved before launching it. So next would be about the change management documents. So change is unavoidable even in project management too. So this is where the project management plan, change plans comes in. So the plan, as detailed in the project management change document, sets out the processes by which any changes to the project's goals, schedules, and resource usages are to be managed. So in short, the change document is a vital component in managing projects of any size and complexity, and it is heavily influences the project's success. Next would be about the measurement of project activities. So, measuring performance is a criteria factor in optimizing the performance. Consistent monitoring and control measures are required to stay on track. So, this when of course we need to know. So again, for example, is the vaccine. We need to know that we need to know if the vaccine that we will launch would be effective. We have to set a standard. So that's then the performance baselines enters. So it is that in every test or clinical trials that are being performed, the ending result should be the same. It shouldn't decrease over a period of time. We can also consider here if there are certain bracket of age that can only take the shot. So with regard to the against plan, so this is where we have to enter the possible objections, hurdles, or hindrances that can affect the output of our project. So it is very important to determine it ahead of time to prevent any errors or disadvantages in taking the vaccine. Next, lastly would be about the identification of what needs to be done. So in here is to keep the project on track, which I will discuss more on later on. So tips for successful project execution: assign clear responsibilities and accountabilities to your team members. Explain the rationale and motivation behind your decisions to get buy-in from your team. And when you experience a setback, as a project manager, own your mistake and implement course corrections as needed. So in conclusion, to actualize the project plan and deliver expected outcomes, the actor in the project execution process should carefully and effectively implement all the activities. Thus, information is very vital to project managers and other stakeholders who are directly involved in the project implementation. So, my next topic is about the status and tracking. So, let's define first what is project tracking. So, it is a project management method used to track the progress of the task in a project. It is monitoring the progress of a project to assess if it is making the correct progress. So, by tracking your project, you can compare the actual to planned progress. and identify issues that may prevent the team or the project from staying on schedule and within the budget. It Having a project tracking will also help project managers and stakeholders to know what work has been done and the previous resources that have been used to execute those tasks, and help them to create an earned value analysis by measuring the project variance and tracking milestones. So, key to project tracking is to use a project tracking tool and project management techniques. So, for example of this is a Gantt chart. So, a Gantt chart allows managers to track project progress by providing an overview of tasks, workloads, and milestones at any point of the project lifecycle. So, this is what a Gantt chart looks like. So, here are the different tasks and activities and the timeline. So, dito makikita natin if ang isang activity ba is natatapos pa within the allowed time or period, or kung nag-over na ba ito. So, another example of a project tracking tool is a task list. So, a task list is a perfect for task tracking and facilitating for team collaboration. The task list view will also allow anyone working on a project to filter tasks down to just for which they are responsible. So, as what we can see, a task list is also a project tracking tool wherein we can see the project or the task names here and when is the due date. So, yeah. And makikita natin if may progress na ba. Then sa priority, if for example is ito, today na yung due date niya, pero wala pa ring progress, so ang priority is very critical na. So, let's see who would conduct the tracking and monitoring. So, first would be the project manager. So, it is their job to monitor the progress, make interventions, and keep the sponsors and stakeholders appraised. Next would be the sponsor. So, it is their job to ensure that the project delivers their requirement within the budget and the agreed time scale. And lastly would be the project management office. So, the project management office, they are responsible naman for oversight of delivery, ensuring accurate reporting, and advising on the deviation from the plan. So, lastly, why do you need project tracking and project reporting? So the main reason here is in order to ensure that a project is making a progress or on track to deliver, there needs to be a mechanism to monitor the progress. Without this, so the sponsor and the organization will be placing a blind faith that the project will deliver what has been specified by the agreed date and within the allotted budget. So I am sure you will agree that this is a very big leap of faith. This should also be the highest priority of the project manager. In fact, it is also part of their job description to control and to progress manager. And to monitor the progress. So without tracking, how will the project manager know if the project will deliver and if interventions are required? So that would be all. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So that's it for Miss Abigail as of now. That's her report because here in Trinilab, she's actually at Cebu right now because of course we also want to check our storage there. So her report just got into our our quality lead, which is Mr. Lucas. So yeah, thank you so much, Miss Abigail, for that detailed reporting. Even though I know that you're out of the office, you always make time for us. Thank you so much, and we do appreciate it. All right, I think we also have another one. The second to the last, it's Miss Charito Isig. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Hi, we can hear
Good
you. Yeah.
afternoon. Good evening, everyone. Did you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
Malinaw po ba?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yes. Thank you, Miss Sherica. Good good evening, everyone. But first, let me introduce myself. First, my name is Charito Isig, and our agenda for today is KPIs. What is the meaning of KPIs? KPI stands for key. Please, next slide, please. Stands for Key Performance Indicator. Yan. We are Trinilab. Alagang Tunay, Alagang Filipino, your trusted quality healthcare. Okay. But first, next slide. Next slide, please. Okay. Next slide. Ayan, live na live tayo. Ayan. Mike, I need your participation on this. Ayan. I need your all participation on this. I have a question for all of you. Does the measurement matter? Ayan. In the question box or
Matters now, guys. Ay, sorry. Iba pala yung tanong.
the,
Okay.
the,
All right. So, the question we have is name something you personally measure regularly at work. Is that the one? Or name some. Oh,
yes.
sorry. My bad. Name something you personally measure regularly. Okay, wait.
Yes,
Okay,
wait.
Mr. Joel.
Yes. Another question. Another answer, sorry.
Another
You
answer for
measure.
you guys.
Yes.
Disclaimer ha, this is not the ano pa, okay? Later.
Yes.
Okay,
Oo.
Gerson.
Ayan, temperature. Yan, pwedeng cup of rice. Tama. Oo, mini-measure yan. Next question. Name something you personally measure regularly at work. Sa work. Ano namang mini-measure natin sa work?
Ayan, Rena.
Yan. In the chat box. Yes. Sales. Kay Jello.
Yes. Outcome. Thank you so much, guys, for participating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Deliverables. Yes. Output. Performance. Yes. Self-evaluation. Tama. Pasensya. Tama. Ayan ang pinaka-mini-measure. Ayan. Next slide, please. Thank you for participation. Ayan. Next. Name something you measure that is worthless. Mini-measure mo bilang ng paperclip. Ayan. Yung mga mini-measure pero worthless.
Okay, once again, guys, the question is, name something you measure that is worthless. Ay, oh.
So, mini-measure. Ano mini-measure? Patience.
Chance.
Hati.
Ay.
Chan. Yes. Ayan. Okay, thank you for participation, everyone. Do you realize, ayan, minsan puso, may pahabol pa. Ayan. Do you realize we count or measure anything, but some measurement matter more than others? Yan. Minsan, may mga mini-measure tayo, pero meron talagang Mga hindi importanteng mini-measure pero para nagma-matter siya sa atin. Ayan, next slide please. A key performance indicator is a measurable value that demonstrates how effective a company is achieving a key objective. Ayan. By David Parmenter. We all know that we all know that we are all affected in this pandemic. So we have no choice but to fight, prepare, and think a possible solution for us to recover. Sabi nga nila, ang KPIs is the heartbeat of the company. Next slide, please. Ayan. In KPIs, we need to be smart. Sabi nga ni Sherica sa report niya kanina, we need to be smart. First is S, specific. We need to be specific. You need to state exactly what you want to accomplish. What exactly your indicator of your success. Next is letter M, measurable. We need in KPIs, you need to measure. Can you personally measure your KPIs? There is a tip in measuring KPIs. Hello, naririnig po ba ako?
Yes, we can hear you.
Ayan. Thank
Yes
you.
po.
Okay. In KPIs, you need to meron ngang tip na sinabi. Here, use smaller goal and mini goal to measure progress of success. Ayan. Next is A for smart, achievable. Be realistic in measuring KPIs. Be reasonable. Ayan. Next is relevant. Set a goal that is relevant in your business life. Ayan. Kailangan in measuring KPIs, you need to be relevant. Always think your business like Tinilab. Next is time-bound. Merong isang quote na sinabi, set your ano ba to? Give yourself a time but set a deadline. Ayun. Next slide please. Ayan.
Okay, guys, once again, give yourself a time. Give yourself.
Give yourself time but set a deadline.
Yarn. So, give yourself time but set a deadline. So, it's okay kung magpapahinga tayo when we're tired. But of course, guys, we need to finish because we have deadlines. Just okay. Next one.
Thank you, Sherica. And yes, pabalik po, sorry. KPIs versus metrics. So, balik sa slide. Thank you, Mr. Lucas. Ayan, KPI versus metrics. KPIs represent how your performance against strategic goals, and by that goals, we need to face specific outcomes, such as targeted new customers per month or revenue. Next, in metrics, it is just scorecard. It represents the tactical process or actions necessary to achieve KPI. Ayan. Here in KPI, we need 4 attributes. That number 1, measure. Number 2, target. Number 3 is the source, and 4 is frequency. In measure, in measure, we need to identify the number of customers or the number of clients, number of patients. It is usually numbers in terms of raw numbers. Next is the progress. Progress is the percentage you identify if you are complete in the KPIs. Next is change, number of increase in revenue. Your targeted number if you measure revenue. Number two, the target. Ayan. Usually, this is the goal of the company. Number of goals. Ayan, the progress. How many percent is your targeted in the progress? The change is your achievable percentage. Number three is source. Possible source is a customer relationship manager or possible data. Next is project progress is possible the project plan. Change the data source or possible source of um, possible source of the company or what you are measuring. For example, is the finance. Ayan. Frequency. This, this frequency is most important or we need to be cautious in measuring frequency because in measuring we have daily, weekly, and quarterly or yearly, annually. Ayan, next please. Ayan. Next slide is the example of Trinilab Corporation in, stos- in storage of Physiotra vaccine. Not this for everyone. This is not exact data. This is just an example. Okay. We currently deliver 4 million vaccine for every barangay weekly. This is 80% progress of our company. That we need more 200,000 increase per week. Our target is 5 million. To be exact, to be specific, 4,400,000 to achieve a 100%. That was a 20%. Source. We need currently we are our partner is China in distributing vaccine. Our project plan today to achieve 20% more is to gain more distributor and supplier, which is USA and Australia. We measure frequency weekly and measure the progress quarterly, and hopefully the changes will be weekly. Ayan. By Erica Olisen. Next slide, please. Ayan. Of course, KPIs have advantage and benefits. First advantage is a current state. Ayan. If we have KPIs, we easily identify or measure the state of the business if we have a problem. Next is future state. If we have a problem, we easily find a solution or implement or propose a solution if we have KPIs measured. Next is objective, business objectives. We easily identify our objectives in our company. Next is a quality of requirement. We easily create or make a quality in training lab. We easily provide a uh, quality in making vaccine. Yan, because we are using KPIs. Next is, ayan, like I said earlier, the proposed solution and implement solution. Ayan, next slide, please. Ayan, of course, if we have advantage and benefit, we have a disadvantage. KPIs possible drawback or disadvantage. KPIs needs time. In KPIs, we cannot easily or gain KPIs needs time. You cannot easily see the result. It takes time. They don't offer actionable information easily. There's a quote said, a hot pot doesn't boil. Diba? A watch pot doesn't fall. Hindi, kung titingnan mo lang yung takore, hindi talaga siya kukulo. Ayan. Kaya yung KPIs, kailangan mo munang buksan yung shilane para kumulo yung isang pot. Ayan. Next, disadvantage is KPIs have a high learning curve. Ibig sabihin, KPIs, high learning curve, example on this is Trinilab, a possible to have unexpected happenings or effects of a vaccine. Sometimes the vaccine has side effects or minsan nag-ECQ, minsan nag-MECQ. Ayan, meron talaga tayong mga hindi inaasahang pangyayari. Ayan. Minsan din, example din nito is sa gym. For example, in your first day of sa pagpunta ng gym, sobrang desidido ka sa pag-exercise. Sa pangalawang araw mo, parang napapagod ka na, sumasakit na yung katawan mo. Ayun yung magiging learning curve niya. Bali, may curve, may possible na hindi mo ma-achieve yung goal mo. Ayan. Sa lahat ng advantage na to, ang kailangan lang is to overcome that disadvantage and set your priority or goals. Ayan. Next slide. Ayan. Thank you for everyone. This is my reference and stay safe, everyone. My name is Charito Isig. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Charito. So, as mentioned by Charito, so set your priorities. So, ano ba dapat yung mga priorities natin? Ayan guys, so kayo, ano mga priorities nyo ngayon? Can you guys comment to make sure that everyone's here pa? What are your priorities? Top 3 priorities. Wow, MBA. Okay, from Mr. Jerzon. It's health, safety. Yes. Tulog. Okay, yes. Of course, we should. Yeah, that's my top priority. Yeah, sleep. Puso. Alright, survive the pandemic. Yes, the pass the subject, safety. Alright. Okay, health, worship, career. Yes. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for giving up your priorities. For giving out, not giving up. Okay. Safety of everyone. Wow. Okay. Alright, thank you so much, guys. Okay. So, last but not the least, the love of our team. Okay. Mr. Lovely Dador, take the floor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ma'am Sherica. Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, pa.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Lovely Dador, and we are now done with quality control, KPIs, and launching of a product and execution. It's my time. It's my turn to share with you from Finance Department about forecasting. So, please bear with me. I have 2 devices so that you can see me, and while I'm going to read on laptop the share screen of Ms. Sherica because I am just using phone. So guys, na-forecast niyo ba na maghihiwalay kayo ng mga jowa nyo? Please comment below. Nakamute ka, Ma'am Che. Nakamute ka, Ma'am Che. Hello?
Ayan. Okay.
Hello, Ma'am Sherica. May kami ka. Parang nawala po yung audio.
Yeah, sorry, medyo nawala ang sound. So, nakamute pala ako. So, yan guys. So, the question was, na-forecast nyo daw ba na maghihiwalay kayo ng jowa nyo? So, sabi, yes, because someone is better. Oh!
Wow. Sir Harvey, pag nabasa yan ng asawa mo, wala ka nang tutulugan ngayong gabi.
Hindi siya nga yung better.
Handa na ba ang sala? Handa na daw ang sala sa'yo, Mr. Harvey. Ayan.
Ma'am She, hindi ko sada. Sa labas mismo. Sa labas ng bahay nila.
Feeling ko katabi ng aso.
Oo, lagot ka, Sir Harvey, sa asawa mo.
So, ang sabi ni Mr. Fernando, what God has put together, let no man part. Oh. Okay.
Kung sa labas matutulog to.
There are always
Okay, so lambuti, sir.
Okay.
Okay, next slide, please. So forecasting is the process of making predictions of the future based on past and present data. So we all know that we are different in mind. So if I'm going to ask for a plant manager, what is forecasting? They might answer me about plant capacity requirement. And if I'm going to ask for a finance professional, they would answer me forecasting is all about forecasting about capital expenditures. And if I'm going to talk to human resource manager, they might think forecasting as personal requirements making associated by hiring decisions. And then, but the very core of forecasting is really about customer demand. So when we speak forecasting in a business, financial business context, we are really focused on future demand. So the question is, when is the future? The future point in time can be tomorrow. So I'm going to discuss with you, or I'm going to lead you into a conducted by what time horizon as forecasting. Next slide, please. Okay, there is a two types of forecasting by what referred to as time horizon. The first one is the short range forecast. While it can be up to 1 year, this forecast is usually used for 3 months or less. So, as in example, I'm going to example as Trinilab, we are interested to forecast our distribution of vaccine in Mandaluyong for 2 to 3 weeks or in a month or in a year. That's what we call short range forecast. While in a long range forecast, generally it's up to 3 years or more than in a time span, it is used for the new product, capital expenditures, facility expansion, relocation, research, and development. Because it takes time. So, kumbaga, mahaba na yung gusto nilang mangyari. So, I'm going to share with you that as my former work in hotel was cost control. So, we do always forecast the revenue, the occupancy of the guests. So, we are using the long-range forecast. Ms. Charita, next slide, please. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to approach in forecasting. The first one is qualitative approach. The qualitative approach is based on experience, instinct, emotion, and of course, experience. Like in hotel, this is an example, this is in a Trinilab, okay? We do have a financial controller and the revenue manager. We are the one who's making the targeted forecast for the next month. So, kumbaga, they don't have any data for them to forecast what's gonna happen, what revenue they might earn for the next month. And then, while the quantitative approach really heavily on mathematics, relies on historical data, causal variables, or maybe they're using mathematical modeling. And then, next slide, please. I'm going to discuss with you the qualitative approach. These methods include Delphi methods. Delphi methods are decision makers, staff, and respondents all meet to develop the forecast. Every shareholders in the process provides input. So, kumbaga, they are talking to sales, example, in a hotel industry, there is a sales executive and there is a sales committee, and they're going to talk about the target quota for them to reach the occupancy that needed in the hotel. So, kumbaga, mayroon silang talk to experience para malaman nila yung magiging forecast for the next month. So they're talking about consultants. And number 2 is market research. This includes surveying customers. Example, testing products and focus on discussing products how customers might accept to the business. So, kumbaga, they know the preferences of customers. Kumbaga, pino-forecast nila kung ano yung gusto ng mga mga clients nila. In Trinilab, we do forecast kung ano yung ginagamit ng mga vaccine. There is a Sinovac, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, which is yung iba is they don't like the AstraZeneca because there is a time allotted na mag-wait ka pa ng 3 months. So, they must prefer daw na vaccine kasi na Pfizer because it is American use. Okay. The next one is the executive judgment. This is based on the inputs and decisions of high-level experts of the management. So, I'm going to give you an example for you to understand well. There is a manager in a restaurant. Of course, siya yung namamalakad ng restaurant nila. But the order is from the headquarters, headquarters or corporate. Na ito yung kailangan yung magiging revenue, ito yung magiging kailangan nyo na sales for the day, na kailangan yung makota, na kailangan yung ma-reach. So, kumbaga, galing sa top level yung decision kung ano yung magiging forecast. They're just going to do the action for them to reach that. Okay. Siguro, clear naman. And then, let's go to the next slide. So, sa quantitative methods, there is a time series model predict by assuming the future is the function of the past. So, kung kayo ba, dadalhin nyo ba si past sa future nyo, please type down below.
Ayan. So, once again, the question is, dadalhin nyo daw ba yung past sa present nyo? Am I correct, Miss Lovely?
Yes.
Depende kay past. Yan. Depende kung ano man. Depende kung ba, ganon?
Grabe ka naman, Sir Joel.
Past is basis. In business terms, yes, reference. Use them. Okay. How about the others? No, we don't give. Oh, yes. Past is past.
I would like to add. I would like to add something about that.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Past is just defect quality. Charot. Next, please.
Okay. The first one, there is a 3 types of time series model. The first one is the Eve method, second is the moving average, and the next one is exponential smoothing. So I'm going to discuss with you how we, Trinilab, get the actual demand that we segregate the vaccine or distribute the vaccine very well in this time of pandemic. So next slide, please. So the naive forecast is very easy to use. It simply assumes that whatever happened last period will repeat itself exactly in the next period. So, pwede ba yun na yung past mo is gagamitin mo ngayon sa present mo? So, in forecasting in business, it is pwede po siyang magamit. Kailangan po natin gamitin yung X natin. Kumbaga, yung prior month, pwede natin gamitin. As working in hotel industry as cost control, I do compute for the food cost and beverage cost of the bar and restaurant. I always do and make the reference of the food cost percentage prior to month for me to compute the current month percentage. Okay, gamitan na daw to. No second chance. Okay. So as you can see in the illustration, the actual demand for the January, this is for the Trinila, but I use the simple figures for us to understand very well. So ginamit po siya yung actual demand ng January na magiging forecast ng Feb. Pero yung actual demand ng Feb is 90. So there is a difference That's what we call na-reach nila yung forecast. Mas nalamangan nila yung forecast. And so on. So sa Feb, 75 lang yung na-forecast niya, but the actual demand is 90. On March, the forecasted demand niya is 90, but the actual demand is 125, and so on. Okay. The next one is, please, next slide, please. Thank you. Okay, have your calculator, please. The simple moving average forecast. It is also a simple methodology to use the forecast the future demand, production, or shipment. With this trick makes all the forecaster to doing the average, the demand, sales, production for the previous month. So there is the formula, sum of the periods over the number of periods. So the actual demand for the January, we're going to get for the 3 months moving average forecast. So we're going to compute for the April na forecast niya. So we're going to use January, February, March. Yan yung actual demand niya. So i-divide lang natin yan sa 3 for us to get the forecasted figure on April. So 75 plus 90 plus 25 equals, comment down below. Thank you. Sino po yung makakahula? $75 plus 90 plus 125. Okay, 290 po.
Hello? Sorry, nawala lang po.
I can still hear you. Yes, 209.
Yes. So, i-divide mo lang siya sa 3 months for us to get the forecasted figure for the April. And also, if we're going to compute for the... Okay, tama po kayong lahat. Pero may isa po, 190 divided.
Okay guys, kalmahan nyo lang yung SB guys ha. Later yun.
Guys, wala pa pong SB dito ha. Okay, naano po ako sa 130 na answer. The correct answer is 290. So divided by 3 which is 96.66 na makukuha natin yung answer. So,
guys, so just take kung mag-take down notes lang kayo sa aming mga report kasi, baka doon namin kuhanin yung question for the Starbucks, okay?
Yes.
Ayun. Go ahead, Ms.
Okay, thank you. Also, if we're going to compute for the forecasted figure for the May, which is the forecasted demand, we're just going to add again the 90 from February going to March. 75 plus 90 plus 100. 90 plus 125 plus 130, that is the actual demand for the April and divided by 3. So we can get the 115. So, and so on and so forth na din po yan. Parang pabalik-balik lang po siya. So, let's move on to the other side. We're going to compute the 5th month moving average forecasted. So, very easy lang talaga yung simple moving average because ayokong mahirapan tayong lahat sa past natin. Char. Okay, next. If we're going to compute the forecasted amount or the forecasted demand in June, we're just going to add those things. January to May, which is 75, 90. Guys, please compute. 75 plus 90 plus 125 plus 130 plus 150 equals, comment down below. Okay, the correct answer is 570. So, i-divide mo lang siya ng 5 for us to get the 114 na forecasted demand. Yes, tama po si Sir Emmanuel Gavlan. Yan. Thank you, sir, sa pag-participate at saka kay Sir Russell. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, let's move on to weighted moving average. This method is the same as simple moving average with the addition of weight. for each one of the last n periods. In this practice, these weights need to be determined in a way to produce the most accurate forecast. Let's have a look in this example, but this time with weights. Okay. Simple lang po siya, and don't mind the formula sa gilid para hindi tayo mahirapan. So if we're going to forecast for the 5th year, kasi may demand na po ako na dinilagay dito, which is the weight, another formula for us to get the forecasted demand for the 5th year. Okay. So i-add lang natin yung kung gusto natin kunin yung pang-5 buwan, we're just going to times the actual demand versus times the weight, which is in a 4th month, we have 0.5 times D4, which is the actual demand na 40. Tapos yung yung isa niyang 3 is because we have a 3 month, 0.3 times 34, 0.2 times 37. Yung answer niya po is nilagay ko na para hindi tayo mahirapan sa pag-compute, 37.6. Okay na po? Because 0.5 times 40 equals 20, 0.30 times 34 equals 10.2, 0.20 times 37 equals 7.4. So, 20 plus 10.2 plus 7.4 equals 37.6. Okay? Na-gets niyo naman po. Mabilis lang po talaga ako magsalita, pero sana maintindihan nyo. Okay, next slide please. Exponential smoothing. Okay. This is, last na po to guys. Hindi na po tayo mahihirapan sa mga figures na yan na baka sumasakit na yung ulo nyo. This method uses a combination of the last actual demand and the last forecast to produce the forecast for the next period. And it is an easy method that enables forecast to quickly react the new trends or changes. For this method to work, we need to have the forecast for the previous period. This forecast is assumed to be obtained using the same exponential smoothing method. If there are no previous period forecast for any past period, we will need to initiate this method of forecasting by making some assumption. Ito po yung formula niya. FT equals 1 minus A. Yung 1 po dyan is, na po siya, fixed na po siya, times FT minus 1 plus the demand total minus 1. So, yung FT is the forecasted po yan. So, next slide please, may example pa tayo. Okay, this one is the example. In a period 1, there is the actual demand 42, 37, 34, and 40. So, na-remember niyo po na sinabi ko na kapag wala pong forecasted figure, we need to assume na lang. Yan po yung sabi sa exponential. So, in this example, period 5 is our next period for which we are looking for a forecast. In order to have that, we will need to forecast for the last period. Pero nga, yung year 4 is walang forecast. So, what will we do? So, thus, we need to calculate the forecast for the period 4. However, similar issue exists for the period 4. Wala din po siyang forecast. Same sa year 3, year 2, and year 1. So, one common assumption is to use the same demand of the period 1 for its forecast. This will give us a forecast to start. And then, we can calculate the forecast for the period 2. From there, let's see how the calculations work out. So, we're going to assume na 0.3 si A, which is dun sa base sa formula natin. It is given here, but in practice, this value needs to be selected properly to produce the most accurate forecast. So, next slide please, kung paano mag-compute. Okay, ito po yung computation. So, andun po yung formula natin kanina is F2 minus 1, which is the, na po siya, fixed, and minus 1 times F1 plus A, D1. So, ito po yung gagamitin nating figure. Dahil nga po wala tayong forecast from the year 4, we're going to use 42. In-assume daw natin na 42 yung gagamitin natin as demand. Okay, so 1, which is hindi na po siya napapalitan, as the formula said, minus 0.30 times 42, which is the actual demand for the year 1, plus 0.30 times 42. So, yung forecast demand natin for the year 1 is 42 also. So, makakakompute na tayo ng year 2. So, 1 minus 0.30 times 42, which is the actual demand for the year 1, plus 0.30 times 37 na actual demand natin is 40.5. Yan po yung magiging forecast natin sa year 2. So, nag-iba na siya. Yung forecasted natin is 40.5. So, makakakompute na tayo ng year 3. So, 34 yung actual demand. So, 1 minus 0.30 times 42 plus 0.3 times 37. 37 is the actual demand for the year 2 equals 40.5. The next series is year 4. 1 minus 0.3 times 40.5 plus 0.30 times 34, the actual demand for the year 3. So yung baka mag-confuse kayo, where did I get the 40.5? Ano po yan ha? Yung F1 natin dati sa formula na gagamitin natin yung prior na forecast demand. So the answer is 38.55. So in a year 5, 1 minus 0.3 times 38.55 na forecast natin, plus 0.30 plus 0.30 times 40 na actual demand, makukuha na natin yung forecasted figure natin na 38.95. So, yun lang po and thank you. Ito po yung mga reference ko.
Ayan, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Miss Lovely. That's actually a lovely report, right? So, okay, so before we go on break, of course, since medyo na-stress tayo sa report ni Miss Love, since it's because of numbers, right? So, of course, we're going to have, ito na ang pinakahihintay ng lahat, ang ating SB card. Yan, so, these are the procedures na for our SB card. So, again guys, mamaya tayo mag-break after this icebreaker. Okay lang ba yun sa lahat, guys? Or we want, break muna before the icebreaker? Guys, can you hear me okay? All is well, okay, for Sir Joel, thank you. How about the others? Is it fine if we do the icebreaker first before we go on break?
Sure.
Basta ka na, Miss Shira. I hope you win the Starbucks. Okay, ayan na. Okay, so okay lang daw sa lahat. So, I think everyone agreed naman. So, ito na ang ating instruction. So, but before the instructions pala, ipapakita muna na ni Mr. Lucas kung ang mga benefits of that.
Walang nabasa sa.
Go ahead, Mr. Lucas.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about the new Starbucks rewards. Starting July 17, you can no longer use the old card. So bye-bye to my old card. So here it is, the new Starbucks rewards card. With the new Starbucks rewards, you can get 1 star every 25 pesos you spend on almost everything you buy in the store. For every 100 stars, you can redeem a reward and choose among their favorite handcrafted beverage, pastry, or slice of cake at the house. Yes, you are right. For every 100 stars, you have the option of redeeming a reward for their favorite handcrafted beverage, pastry, or slice of cake. Also, they give members a pleasant welcome into programs. You can get twice as many stars on your purchases on the first 7 days after joining the program. Starbucks will also unlock double star days. Collect double stars on a random day every month. Collect double stars on a future drink too. Plus, free drink or food on your birthday.
Bali, hindi ko po jowa yung nasa picture
Okay, guys. So, as you can see, that's the benefit. So, you'll receive free drinks and everything, and Starbucks rewards card. So, this is the procedures, guys. So, I hope you guys take notes of our report. And I hope na you'll win the Starbucks card. Okay? So, we're going to use the chat box. Okay? Hindi kayo mag-unmute, ganyan. So, chat box tayo. So, syempre, pabilisan na lang din ng internet to, guys. So, yung mga sagot nyo, kailangan sa chat box. Okay? So, we're just going to practice. Okay? Para alam namin yung knowledge nyo, ganyan. Okay? So, we're just going to practice muna. Okay? So, we have 2 practices before the final question. Ayan. Okay. Are you guys ready? Type in ready naman before we start for the question. Ayan. Ready? Oh. Okay. So I think everyone's ready. Can you also turn on your camera so we can see your facial expression naman? Can you also turn on your camera, guys? Ayan. Ang magta-turn on ng camera siguro talagang mananalo ng words are powerful, guys. Pati si Doc and nag-turn. Ay, Doc.
Ay, kasali si Doc baka gusto nito ka.
Kasali kayo, Doc.
Mo, manalo si Doc.
Diba? Malay natin. Ay, guys, it's free. Okay, so, I hope everyone can participate. Okay, so, procedures lang. First come sa ating chat box. Okay? So, kung ano man yung sagot nyo, just step into the chat box. Okay? Practices before 2 practices, 2 questions to practice bago ang ating final question. Okay? Para lang, maset natin ang mood natin. Diba? Okay, ayan. Sige. Magsimula na tayo. First question. This is just a try. Okay. Ayan. So, I think everyone's ready. So, ang tanong ay, ano ang last letter ng alphabet? Go!
Merong tumama, isa.
Okay, guys. I think we have a winner. A winner. It's just a try, guys. Try out pa lang. Para natin ang last letter ng alphabet. Ang sabi dito, ang dami nagsabi ng Z. Okay, Z. Pasensya na kayo, guys. Sabi ko sa inyo, guys, this is an icebreaker. And I hope na nag-take down notes talaga kayo sa ating report. Okay, so feeling ko medyo ano pa tayo sa report ni Miss Love kasi financial. Okay. The correct ang last letter ng alphabet ay letter T. Diba? Alphabet T. Right? Okay. That's just a try, guys. No hard feelings. Okay. Ayan.
Si Aaron, ang bilis ni Aaron.
Sorry, Doc Ed. This is how we're doing it. Okay, another try. So this is just another try, guys, ha. Later pa yung final question. Yung final question medyo tricky. Pero, di ba, alphabet letters, di ba? Okay. Another try.
Ang bilis ng letters din ni Aaron.
Oo nga, ang bilis ano? Okay, so another try. Ano pa ba yung mga tanong dito? So, next one is, anong hayop? Okay, sorry. Anong hayop sa bukid? Anong hayop ang makikita sa bukid na may 4 ang paa? Go. Sorry, mali. Sorry, guys. Sorry, wait. Sorry na.
Butoy, trial pa lang yun.
Sorry, trial pa lang yun. Ay, hindi pala. Sorry na. Ito na talaga. Ito
Ayan na ba
yung,
yun?
try out pa lang din to guys ha. Try out. Ano ang makikita sa bukid na lumilipad na 4 ang paa? Go!
Kaisip si Harold.
Butiki! Lumilipad ba ang butiki? Okay? Langaw! Okay!
Parang Red Doors na tayo flying.
Pa-red horse na ba tayo, guys? Ay, Diyos ko. Okay.
Ipis, tama yung ipis.
Okay. Sige. So, ang tamang sagot doon sa tanong na anong makikita sa bukid na lumilipad na 4 ang paa ay 2 ibon. Okay? 2 ibon. 4 ang paa nun, di ba? Okay, ito na. This is your chance na to win ano.
Ano ba yan?
Ito na. Baka magalit na kayo sa akin, bakit ang tagal? Okay. So, makinig. Ayan, pakimute muna. Sir Lucas, pakimute ka muna. Baka ano lang. Guys, just checking ha kung if you can hear me okay. Okay naman? Thumbs up na lang. Okay. Ito na ang tanong. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Makinig guys ha. May isang bahay na bilog. Ang tatay nagkukumpuni. Ang kuya nag-EML. Ang nanay nagwawali sa sulok. At ang ate nakipagtanan. Ang tanong, sino ang mali? Go! Ulitin ko guys ha. Okay. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. I think we have a winner. Ayan, I think we have a winner. Wait lang, double check lang natin. Guys, pa-complete ako ng word. We're not accepting na typo, okay? Alin doon? Okay. So, may isang bahay. Okay. I think we have it.
Yaman naman. Wala man yayan.
May yaya pa tayo nabanggit. Ayan. So, I think we have it. So, of course, guys, we also want to make sure na tama yung spelling natin. Sayang si Miss. Let's see. Sayang si Mr. Jose. Nagkulang lang ng A. Oops. Si Robert, super dami ng nanananay. Okay, let's just double check lang natin. So, I think it's our project manager who won.
OMG!
It is Miss Angelica Umbao. Ayan, thank you so much guys for participating. For those na hindi pa nakaka-gets ng joke, so ang nanay kasi is nagwawali sa sulok and walang sulok ang bilog. Okay? Ayan. Thank you so much guys for joining.